At first, all the inventors, all the wise men came from the church. What has happened to the church? Because we have taken purity to the backstage. And the more the church grows in corruption, the less their wisdom grows. The owner of Microsoft is not a Christian. Enter the crypto world today, the leaders are not Christian. They are talking about transportation, going to the moon. It's people like Elon Musk that are powering it. The direction the world is going, it looks as if the church is oblivion to it. The world finance is turning from physical cash to cashless policy to electronic money. And the people heralding it, they are not from the church. And at the end of the day, we fight it. After 10 years, we come back to use it. The reason is because our creative power is not just tied to reading. Our creative power is tied to our purity. Because every time the church emphasizes purity, there is a wisdom investment that is given to the church. Daniel was 10 times better than his colleagues because of purity. Number 2, you look at Joseph. In Genesis 39 verse 9, he said, how can I do this wicked thing and sin against God? How can I do this wicked thing and sin against God? What? You are about to be exalted in a house. You were sold into a country as a slave. The only opportunity you have, you are turning it down because of your purity. Are you crazy? But the young man would rather remain a slave than to defile himself or to do evil against his master. And as if God was unfaithful, they bundled him, accused him, labeled him a rapist for 14 years, threw him into prison. A slave, as if that status was not enough, he was now labeled a rapist, attempting to rape his master's wife. He carried that stigma for 14 years. He was thrown into the prison. Nobody cared about him, but he would rather keep his purity. Even if he lost everything, he will not lose his purity. And something happened in Psalm 105 from verse 17. The Bible said, until the time that his word came, the word of the Lord tried him. He said the king sent for to lose him, even the ruler of the people. He made him lord of his house and ruler of his substance. He gave him authority to bind his princes at his pleasure and to teach his senators wisdom. But what conferred upon him that power? When the king sent for him, I had a dream. What does your dream mean? He interpreted the dream by the instrumentality of a gift that God gave him. But the gift was not what exalted him. It was wisdom that exalted him. After he interpreted the gift, he said, let the king look for a wise man that will be able to look over the affairs of Egypt. And immediately the king said, who in this land is wiser than you? And he put him in charge of Egypt. Where did that wisdom come from? Why will I do this wicked thing against God, against my master, and sin against God? He bore that reproach for 14 years. But what came out of that reproach was to become the ruler over Egypt. A day came, he bought all the land of Egypt except the land of the priest. A day came, he bought the whole Egyptian, and he literally became the owner of Egypt. That level of power did not come because he read the book of the astrologers. That level of power came because he refused to defile himself. You don't know what you have lost by just allowing that foolish young boy to come and take away your virginity. You don't know what you have lost by allowing yourself on a weekly basis to go to the bed of immorality, to continue in that lying, to continue in that exaggeration. You don't know what you have lost. There are many pastors on the altar. They lie about testimonies that never happen. They exaggerate over things that never happen. They think by exaggerating the people will think of them as big. Honor does not come from your exaggeration. He said promotion does not come from the south, nor the east, nor the west. He said promotion cometh from the Lord. When you stay pure and keep yourself humble under God, when God decides to shift you, even your enemies will be compelled to serve you. The wealth of purity have not been revealed to the church. A young boy becoming a ruler in a nation he was sent to as a slave. What human connection can turn a slave to the second in command? Pharaoh himself said, you are answerable to no one except me and the throne. Even the Potiphar that bought him became his steward. What human connection can confer that? Somebody will live here today and pay the price to purify his or herself.